All eyes are on the Eastern Conference in this game as the New York Knicks play this one at home. We're all set to bring you NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan, joined as always by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. A quick check now for starting lineups for both teams. As we take a look here at J.R. Smith, what do you think?
Oh, he's explosive, Kevin. I mean, a lot of time, all it takes is a basket or two to really get his motor running. And suddenly, he becomes almost impossible to handle.
And don't forget now, a walking highlight reel every time he steps on the court. His flair for the dramatic makes him worth the price of admission all by himself.
Out of bounds, Milwaukee takes possession. And Doris Burke spoke with Mike Woodson. Doris?
Well, he told his guys that protecting the rim is priority 1, 2, and 3. He went on to say, if we don't take away lanes and meet them at the rim, we'll be seeing highlights of them dunking on us all night long. Something they're hoping to avoid, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris.
Tyson Chandler, first-time All-Star last season. His 12th season in the league. This is a guy that came right out of high school. It was a long... time coming for him, but certainly that all-star berth well-deserved. Defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
Anthony on the double team. Now the pass tonight, and the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That is his first foul of the game.
Tough break for the defense. He took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep, but when you get there late, that's what happens.
Here's Antetokounmpo. And he uses the glass on the layup. And for Tyson Chandler, it's been a long road over the last few seasons. Steve, he's playing undoubtedly the best basketball of his career.
Yeah, key contributor on Team USA, an NBA champion with the Mavericks since 2011, and now an NBA All-Star. It's the defense, it's the understanding of his teammates and the game plan. Just a very, very smart player and a hard worker as well.
Doubled by Felton. Knight covered by Smith. They set the pick. 5 to shoot. Knight passes to Antetokounmpo. Chandler with the defensive effort.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
You know, when you're in the East, you don't have to necessarily be an above 500 team on the road, but you got to be close to 500. And the Bucks were a solid team on the road, and that's why they made the playoffs.
And so it's New York with it. Smith dishes to Felton. Some nice passing by New York here. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Felton. Anthony's got 5. And Clark, you talked about the Bucks. They went 17 and 24 on the road last season. That might not be the most impressive mark, but it was still 7th best in the conference in terms of road wins.
Well, the East was pretty weak. We know that. And the Bucks making the playoffs at all was the perfect example of how weak the East was. But look, they can get better. They've got some young talent. They've got some things to be excited about. And one is the play of John Henson, a second-year man from North Carolina.
Down low, kicks it to Knight. Hands it from downtown. He has 5.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
And Felton is up top, defended by Walters. Smith drives in. Chandler's shot, good.
What's interesting for me to watch with Mike Woodson as head coach in New York is the exciting floor spacing offense they started playing last season. In Atlanta, he's been known for a grinded out isolation play style, but he's actually tweaked his approach a little bit, and that's been impressive.
Here's Walters after the made shot from Tyson Chandler. And Sanders kicks to Antetokounmpo. To the inside. 6 on the shot clock. Night for 3. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. And back to Mike Woodson, not a flashier, high-maintenance type of personality. He keeps it on the level, and I think, Steve, the players appreciate that.
Players definitely like that. He's very quiet on the sidelines, but not afraid to get in your face when necessary. And I think that's a really good temperament for a coach to have. In general, I think he's a guy who is very well respected around the league and did an excellent job with New York a season ago.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Ramon Shumpert is checked in for Chandler. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Raymond Felton.
You know, the Knicks got off to a fast start, but when you employ as many old bodies as they did last year, it's hard to sustain the level of play you need over the course of a full season. That's one reason they started to falter a bit late in the year.
And Clark, you said it, the Knicks did hit that lull last season right after the All-Star break into early March. And Steve, when the vets saw the finish line in sight, they picked up their play and got back in it.
That's right. They won 13 games in a row late in the season, catapulting themselves back into the top tier of teams in the East, and let everyone know that they would not be exiting the playoffs early. That really was the start of that run. Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty, the way he can blast his way straight through traffic. Really strong.
Another area where he excels is on one of the most fundamental plays in basketball, the pick and roll. He will lower the boom on the defender with a solid screen and then is terrific at rolling into space and getting the basket.
And the Bucks making a change here. Knight's checked in. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. 1:29 left to play here in the first.
You know, for a guy drafted in the second round, Ramon Sessions has carved out really an outstanding career. A smooth operator offensively. He keeps defenders off balance and has a great knack for drawing fouls. And I like the fact he knows how to use his size in getting to the rim and drawing fouls.
Here's Sessions. He kicks it to Ilyasova. Puts up a 3. Another miss by Ilyasova. Now the Knicks with it. They're on an 18-7 run. Rejected by Knight, but they recover it. Stoudemire, the pass to Carmelo. From outside the arc, gets the bucket. Anthony's got 8 points.
Well, this quarter has gone awfully well for him. It seems like every chance he's gotten, he's pretty much converted.
We're going back to Sessions. He's got nice size for a point guard.
Probably about 6'1", but you know, he's got good speed. He's been a productive point guard in the league, bounced around a little bit. But one thing you know is that he will produce for you when he's out on the floor.
That could give him a huge injection of energy, Clark.
Kevin, that's exactly what they need right now. They've got to close the gap.
Forget about that for a second. How about the burst to the bucket for a point guard? Boy, he can power those down.
Anthony is covered by Sessions. It's Anthony with the drive. Nice defense from Sanders. Bucks trail by 12. It's stolen by Stoudemire. To the middle. Got a piece of it. Sanders with the steal. Pass to Sessions. He dishes it tonight. It could go. good on the buzzer beater. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. New York ahead, up by 12. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Knicks.
Guys, they're really passing the ball well here in the first half.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnover.
Setting the floor for the Bucks. John Henson out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Pachulia. Then there's Ramon Sessions. And it's Middleton in at the 2 spot. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, guys, Andrea Bargnani, the #1 overall pick back in 2006, but he hasn't been a star-caliber player in the NBA. Injuries have played a role, certainly, but his defense and rebounding have been the biggest problems. A former coach of his with the Raptors said it just didn't seem like he had enough passion for the game, that it wasn't important enough to him. Some pretty harsh words, but guys, sometimes for 7-footers, the game finds them. And defense and rebounding, certainly not the glamorous parts of this game. Kevin will see if he ever realizes his potential.
And hope for the best. Thanks, Doris.
You know, after losing Jeremy Lin going into last season, guys, I think some fans were concerned that the team might slip back to isolation basketball and their offense would stagnate, but instead they flourished as a three-point shooting team.
And Hardaway gets it to go.
Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You could see that there.
And back to the Knicks personnel moves, you got to give them a lot of credit going out, finding shooters, defenders, and Steve, playmakers to surround their star players with.
Yeah, they ended up with Bargnani, putting him at the kind of the shooting 4 spot, adding another 3-point threat. The Knicks are always going to be aggressive personnel-wise. This was already a good team, second best record in the East, but you know they're looking to get better.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first. Sanders is checked in for Pachulia. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. And Prigioni kicks to Shumpert. Out to Hardaway. The feed now to Prigioni. Off target from 3-point range.
Well, for John Henson, the 14th pick of the 2012 NBA draft out of North Carolina, he really was caught in a bit of a logjam in Milwaukee. There were a lot of players at his position, the power forward spot, on their roster last season, and that kept him from getting extended minutes.
He feeds it to Hardaway. Back to Chandler. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway. 6 points for Tyson Chandler.
Well, that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active, be energetic, and react as soon as the shot goes up.
Out of this world aerial skills for a guy of his size.
Kevin, that's what separates him from some of the other point guards around the league. The ability to rise and throw it now.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that spurs them on. Maybe he sparks a little bit of a comeback here.
Out to Shumpert. Prigioni. Some nice passing by New York here. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. New York shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
Yeah, basically a middle-of-the-road type free throw shooting team. About 76% a year ago.
And Clark, you mentioned for John Henson, tough to get minutes his rookie season. But Steve, per minute, his numbers were very impressive.
Well, if you look at Henson, he's one of those guys who just fills up the stat sheet. He's going to have numbers in just about every category. Incredibly long, active defender, can guard multiple positions, and he can score around the basket on putbacks.
Shumpert dishes to Stoudemire, and you know that's...
We make it cool to be something.